I'd like to call Property Management Committee to order. First order of business, call the roll.
Commissioner Davidson?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson? Here. Commissioner Phillips? Present. Commissioner Irvin? Here. Commissioner Johnson? Here. Commissioner Dodge? He's on his way. Chairman McAdoo?
Here. Next on the agenda, approval of minutes, Vice Chairman Anthony Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman. I've looked over the minutes and found them to be in order, and that was November 21st minutes, and move to approve.
Second. Second, Commissioner Phillips. Favor?
Aye.
Any public comments? Next on the agenda, Facilities Maintenance Report. Director Dodd.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll start this month's report off with the Recovery Court. So permitting is now complete. The contractor has provided a revised construction schedule with a modified closeout date, as we discussed last month, of May the 18th, 2025. The demo remains at approximately 90% complete. As you can see from the pictures, construction has now resumed. Foundation and footing work are ongoing. Reinforcement steel is now on site. Stakes and formwork are ongoing. Our 4-week look ahead, contractor should have rock delivered to site next week, and concrete work and possible completion of slab on grade. Are there any questions regarding the addition Recovery Court?
Questions?
Next, we'll move to the Plainview Public Health and Safety Building. The site work is ongoing at approximately 30% complete. Concrete slab on grade is now complete. All underground mechanical, plumbing, and electrical are now complete and have passed inspection. Additional masonry work ongoing. That includes Phase 1 CMU block wall work around the tornado shelter, hollow metal frame doors and embeds, there's a picture there of one. Our 4-week look ahead at Plainview, CMU block work should be completed at the tornado shelter. They should move that operation to the engine bays. Core fill of the hollow metal frame doors. Phase 2 CMU block work would be the kitchen and the sleeping quarters. In-wall plumbing and electrical rough-in. We could possibly see preparation for an elevated concrete slab over the mezzanine within the next 4 weeks. We currently have one pending change order associated with the landscape agreement that we discussed a couple months back regarding the agreement with the City of Murfreesboro for permitting. The GC does estimate that cost at roughly $27,000. Currently, there are no open submittals requested on behalf of the architect. This project remains approximately 10 to 14 days ahead of schedule. That completes this month's report for the Plainview Public Health and Safety Building.
Questions? Thank you for a good report.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next on the agenda, transfer station update, Director Wagner.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Bishop Wagner. I'm your Solid Waste Director. I've got some images here. I say I do. I promise I do. So here are the project development updates. We're going to talk about grading and utility site work, the structural construction progress, and the project components, and the bid status and their updates. So here to remind you all what the overview is on the design of the station. So here's the site work update. We've got a concrete drive has been poured at approximately 2/3 of the site, including the curb and gutter. The ponds are in and they're dressed, so they're all ready to start growing grass when grass will grow. And Middle Tennessee Electric has power poles, and power is on the site, and electric is taken temporary to the building. Here's the images of the transfer station. I really like the one up in the upper left-hand corner there because it shows the sunrise over the transfer station. That's one of the most beautiful things I've seen today. So what we're looking at here is the view from west to east on the transfer station in the upper left-hand corner. That's looking at the pit areas as they're out there. They still haven't wrapped the steel, the side steel yet, or put the roof sheets on, but as you can see, they are ready. You're looking at down there in the lower right-hand corner. You're looking at the office building. Facing in at those columns are the bays that have yet to be constructed, and that white plastic there is to protect the subgrade. They're in preparation to pour what would be the apron pad in front for the truck turnaround. So here is the interior of the office building. As you can see, they've begun the rough ends for the AC and the electrical inside the building, and all of the framing is complete with the doors. The windows are yet to be installed. Here is the images of the scale house. Kind of from a distance over there, and it looks about the same as it has. They're at the same status as the office building inside. I would have gotten you pictures, but it was quite muddy, and I didn't want to get stuck on my way out there. But it looks a lot like the office building. And this is what I'm most excited about here recently, as they've begun the project with the directional boring, which will provide the utilities onto the site. And so right now we have if you're looking in between those pieces of equipment, that little orange piece of equipment there, that's actually the drill that does the drilling. And then I've walked up for that second photograph on the right. You can see that little hole there. That is actually the bore for the water line that's going to be going through there. And it's they said they're about ready to be at the river now. They've got about that far. Now this whole project should take about 2 months for them to get everything completed, the water and the sewer across the river. So the bid process and update. So the Highway Department has begun work on Landfill Road past the Phase 2 area, which is past the Rutherford County gate onto the property, the landfill property. They've done a significant amount of work. They've widened and prepped the road. They've got binder down on the areas that they were able to get the binder down on. There were a couple places where there were some poles that needed to be relocated. And then weather kind of got in the way of them being able to get binder on them, but it's really starting to look like a reshaped road. They've got a few things to do to tie it into the next section of the road, which was discussed in the meeting right before this, where on the Phase 1 and the full depth reclamation bids, which were both accepted. And come to think of it, I don't remember the name of the first of the FDR recipient. Roadworks was the recipient for the FDR. It was one bid on that, and then Hawkins and Price received won the bid for the rest of the road paving and so forth. So that would be the intersection redesign and things at East Jefferson Pike. So those have been decided this evening, and we look forward to seeing that project underway. That will be the last portion of the project that needed to be bid out for construction, so now it's all up to building it. Any questions?
Got one question. Are we on schedule?
I believe we are a little ahead of schedule. The weather this week has been problematic, but they've still continued to pour when available, and it's looking like all things are on schedule. We're waiting some data back on some breaks for the concrete test because they have to bring some cranes out on the newly poured concrete, and so that could affect what time they're able to get the cranes to hang the roof steel and stuff on the station, but they're able to do some other things in the interim. I got some imagery that was provided to us, which I really think is, I'm really showing you this to brag on Rutherford County GIS, because they've come on out there and flown over the site repeatedly, and if we can get it to work, I want you to see kind of the progress that this made aerially. They come out about once every 2 weeks whenever the weather's nice, and they'll fly the site. Back to the beginning again. So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting technology. When it gets finished, we'll be able to see it from start to finish as it's grown in the 3D form. So, are there any questions about the progress or anything that you'd like to know about it? Again, I'm going to open up the invitation anytime to come on by and come see it for yourself. It's almost clean enough to where you won't even get mud on you because the concrete's about poured over on it. But it is pretty exciting for me to witness it grow.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you next month.
Good report. Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Phillips?
This is a curveball, okay, so don't take it personal. And Commissioner Johnson is probably well aware of this. My request is that we've been looking at a vision for Rutherford County almost for 3 years now, and it'll probably come before the Planning Commission sometime late winter, and maybe before the County Commission sometime this spring, okay? Probably. We've asked, Public Works has asked Republic to regularly report to Public Works what's going on out at the landfill. Part of that request is going to be their vision, once again, not our vision, but their vision for solid waste for the next 30 years. And they're probably going to make that presentation before Public Works sometime this winter, maybe February or March, something like that. Detailed as to cost expectations, cost to the county or revenue for the county, or detailed explanations, okay? This committee, but more than this committee, Public Works has asked for our long-term vision for Rutherford County as it relates to us proceeding handling our own garbage. No rush, but I think our transfer station is supposed to be open once again, sometime this spring.
Our contract starts with WM on July 1st.
Okay.
So we will have a completed transfer station well before that contract. But as far as us managing waste, I don't anticipate us doing that earlier than that unless we're in a situation where we must.
Very good, but sometime either this spring, late this spring, or early this summer, we're going to have an operational transfer station. And my request, it's not a request for next month or the month after, but over the next few months, since Republic is going to be presenting their vision for what garbage should look like in Rutherford County over the next 30 years, I would like your vision, the mayor's vision, as to what you see happening with Rutherford County's garbage and potential cost relating to us handling garbage over the next 30 years. We know what's going to happen with the transfer station, or we've got an idea. So we've got a pretty good handle on that. But after the transfer station, Republic closes in a couple of years, where are we going to go and what are we going to be doing? That's what I would like to see, and I think that's what Public Works has been asking for a good long while. And I don't mean just a guess. I'd like for your vision, the mayor's vision, to be explained once again to Public Works and maybe even through this committee too, later on this spring. So that'll give you a number of months to finalize that and make a presentation before the commission through Public Works as to what your vision and the mayor's vision would be for long-term, 30 years. This is what the county will look like as it relates to us handling garbage over the next 30 years. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense, and I'm honored by the request. I will do my best to provide the information that you require.
Am I out of order, Commissioner Johnson? Anthony, am I out of order to ask for that?
Any other questions?
Thank you all. Good evening.
Okay, our next meeting, the 30th, 2025, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Other business, Commissioner Johnson. All right, motion to approve. The motion,
So move.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Also, we didn't approve the report that Adam gave.
Let's combine both of them together. That.
Okay.
No objection.
Carla, if you could, as part of the minutes of this meeting, send that request to Bishop and to Mayor Carr. Is that okay?
Any other business? Johnson? All those in favor of Director Dodd and say aye.
Aye.
Other business to come before us. It's one thing we can do. We can start thinking about hadn't taken one in a while, but I do know budget is coming up. my opinion, we really do need to take another tour of Goldstein Building. Like that to be on our next tour. Budget is coming up, and I am curious to see if we're gonna have to spend any money over there. No objections. I think I was trying to set up a tour for the Goldstein Building. Any objections to that?
No, but a follow-up to that, Mr.
Go ahead,
Chairman,
Commissioner Phillips.
is there were some projections a couple of years ago as it related to Lonval Library and maybe building new libraries and multiple libraries and maybe the county taking over that particular building. Is there any, as we tour that, if there's any updates, it might be good that we talk about those updates as well.
I did check on the updates on that project, and they're not ready to present some of it to the public. I don't know why, but it's still ongoing. But based on that, we can wait until they feel comfortable. It may be with buildings or whatnot. I do know that the water department is moving this month, and other bids may be coming in on some projects over there, and they didn't want to, I guess, put it out to the public, but we'll get an update on it soon. That's all Any other questions? Not, entertain a motion to adjourn. Have a good holiday.